Hello and welcome to Flippin' Through, the internet's number one Mad Magazine news review and interview channel. I got a whole bunch of stuff to show off and go through today. And I just went to the comic book store. I had like this rare block of time that I had available to myself. And so I went through like quarter bins and dollar bins, and I got a lot of pretty cool stuff. First off, I got the first 4 issues. I think it was a miniseries of Chrono Mechanics by Art T. Bear. It's pretty cool. The reason I picked these up is I remember he's doing a campaign on like Indiegogo on this. So I thought these 3 were $1, and then this one was like $2 or something. So I picked those up. And then I got a bunch of weird stuff I had never heard of. B36 by Pam Bliss? No idea. But it has an infinity cover, which I like. I have like a collection of those. Big Blown Baby. I got this. Bill Ray. If you don't know, Bill Ray was involved with Ren and Stimpy. And he also did artwork for Mad Magazine. Monroe, the whole Monroe things. I guess before we get started, shout out to Tom Smith, Trucker Ford. What's up, fellas? How are you doing? We got 5 viewers in here. 5 viewers and 1 like. So hit like if you haven't. Then I pick up stuff like this, sort of like really low budget comics. The Commercenaries. I have no idea what this is. Pretty low quality, but I thought it was kind of cool. So I grabbed that. Adventures of Tad Martin, Average American Teenager. I can't open this up because they're not lying when they say it's for mature readers. Got this one, Iceman. Well, this is like a brand new comic. I'll put that to the side. Iceman, 1 in a 4-issue series. It was $0.25. That's why I got that. And then I got a bunch of X-Men, X-Factor books, X-Force, just a boatload of these. You know, like, I think I got the Jim Lee X-Men #1. You know, not that I don't have a bunch of these books already. It's just an easy way to spend $1. Anyway, before I get into that, B36 looks great. Bill Ray was at Cracked Magazine? I did not know that. I'll tell you what, there was this other... I don't have them. But, for a while, after the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles came out, there was a bunch of, like, knockoffs. And there was... I picked up... I think the knockoff that most people know is Radioactive Black Belt what is it? So is Radioactive Black Belt Karate Hamsters or something. I always fuck up the name. But there was that, and then Naive Interdimensional Koala Commandos. So now I'm trying to like find all of these like super independent books that were just Ninja Turtle knockoffs. Before I get into the Cracked though, Tom Smith in particular has been telling me to read through National Lampoon. So my comic shop, or a comic shop near my house, had a box full of them. So I just sort of like took the one that looked coolest to me. To hear about here, I'm going to finish this thought. I got to stop looking at the chat and finish thoughts. I just picked up the one that appealed to me the most. I liked this. It was like, I don't know, kind of reminded me of, like 1930s animation with like the food. They're like cute little faces and the eyelids that sort of like curve up like that. And then this ogre looking dude. I don't know. Anyway, well, I'll tell you, I did something that I don't normally do with Mad. And like usually when I grab a Mad out of the box, I haven't looked at it before. So I looked through this one, and I'm glad I did, because there's a bunch of stuff that I think YouTube would not want me to have on my channel. it is. It's like very funny, but I'm gonna have to like pick out some things to make a video on, and kind of change it up a little bit because there's like there's nudity and stuff in it, so that's gonna have to wait. That can't be a live stream, and it can't be like how I normally do the videos. Anyway. Oh dang. Yeah, Trucker Ford. What have I heard? What happened to the guy that made Ren and Stimpy? And I think I remember hearing something about that. Not like not a ton of details or anything, but like that there was some issues with him, and yeah, it's that it's like really unfortunate for many reasons. I think the most unfortunate reason being because he was hurting young women. Like that's and then you go farther down the line and it's like, well now Ren and Stimpy is like affected in my memory, which is, like I said, pretty far down the line of priorities. But yeah, I kind of avoid stuff like that. I get a little bent out of shape by it. Like it depresses me, seeing stuff like reading about it. So Dammer Irvin, no fooling around. There's a lot of offensive X-rated stuff in the Lampoon. Yeah, and I kind of got the sense that it's not only the nudity. Like they really push the envelope. So I am excited to read it and have some laughs, but I think I'll have to be kind of careful, especially like I want my channel to grow, and I don't want like whatever algorithms to punish me for whatever reasons. So here we have the reason for the season, Cracked Magazine. And so like these, I don't know if you guys really care to hear this story, but I'm going to tell it anyway. These, I believe, were my brothers, and I found them or something. Anyway, what happened is my uncle and I, my uncle Mo, he's the one that like really introduced me to Mad Magazine. I would go over to his house for sleepovers, and he would have the stack of Mads that I would go through. And I think he actually had some National Lampoons too. He did not let me read those though. Anyway, we got to sending these back and forth to each other as a gag gift. Like he'd wrap them up for Christmas, I'd wrap them up for his birthday, and we'd send them back and forth. And then they came back to me, and I never sent them back. And now they're moving, and I don't want to like burden them just to amuse myself. So they're mine now forever. But anyway, there's like a ton of these, and I don't really know where to start. So I'm just going to kind of look in the chat in a little bit here, and if you see one, just let me know. I can just sort of, I got a lot of Batman ones. There's a lot of like a few that seem to focus on Toons. Toon issue, we take a shot at Toons. This looks kind of cool. I like this. I like that cover. Got Don Martin, which apparently Don Martin came to Cracked because he was, I think, pretty scorned. I think Mad treated him, they did him dirty or something. They're like, he was having problems with I had to read into it, but I had a conversation with Matt Lassen. Matt Lassen, a writer for Mad Magazine. That's going to be, I don't know, it'll be a couple weeks. I banked a couple interviews with folks from Mad Magazine. Oh yeah, I forgot I have this camera on. I banked a couple of those, so I don't really, it's going to be a little bit before I get to that one. All right, looking at the chat. They push the envelope in every way, no holds barred comedy. The Batman Cracked and Toons Cracked are two of the best issues. Mort Todd was the editor. Which Batman one? There's like a couple. Roger Rabbit. If you want to know the whole Don Martin story, interview Mort Todd. That would be awesome. All right. Yeah, Tom, I just read that comment you just put in. Um, yeah, I'm working my way up. There's like I'm working my way up the interview chain. I think like so I'm starting with people who like a lot of these like awesome cartoonists that they introduced like in the past 2 or 3 years. That's kind of where I started, and as I like start finding people who had like longer tenures and sort of like building up in that way so that I at least have one more knowledge about the magazine, but also I can improve my skills. And that's, I just realized that could come off as like kind of backhanded towards the people who I have interviewed. And the people I have interviewed are awesome and they're incredibly talented. And so I don't mean it like that, but it's, especially for those like old school dudes like Viviano. He's still alive and I'd love to interview him, but I really got to improve my chops. All right, so I'm going to do, which one was it? Roger Rabbit. Well, I'll go with Roger Rabbit. That seems like is it this Roger Rabbit one? Or was there another? Oh, here we go. That's got to be the one. Roger Rabbit was one of those like amazing 90s movies. Wait, no, that was like an 80s movie. Where it's just like it aged perfectly, like a fine wine, as they say. All right, so listen, I'm going to be pretty ignorant about, I think, maybe a lot of the artists and stuff here. But Cracked Magazine is still just $1.49, which is indeed apparently cheaper. December 1988. This is kind of like they break it down for those dummies working at the 7-Eleven. Display and tell, November 3rd, 1988. Whoop, there we go. Which makes, the date even more confusing, right? You're only supposed to display it until the month before it's actually marked. Who do we have? Tom Hanks, Dundee, Rambo. I don't know who this is supposed to be. Who'd like to kill Roger Rabbit? Oh, Severin. Severin Illustration. I don't know that guy's first name. Friday the 12th. Drat, another failure. I just can't make a decent monster. Can you make a burger and order fries? Hey, look at. So, I mean, like one thing that's kind of interesting to look at is the similarities between Mad Magazine and Cracked. Especially, like, I don't know. What can you do with a table of contents, right? But it's like they, like vital features. Let's see if anybody, Michael Del Femine. Are these joke names? Clifford P. Mott, Sylvester Smith. I know that's their, who is it? It's this guy. Sylvester Smith is their mascot. Victim of the press. George Gladier, Tony Frank, Bo Badman. That's not a real name. Charles E. Hall, Rich Kriegel, Joe Catalano, Mort Todd. That's the one that Tom mentioned. John Severin. We know him. Don Martin, Pat Boyette. I don't know. That name doesn't really sound familiar. Henry Boltonoff, Wally Brogan, Rob O. Rick, Kevin, McMahon, Frank Caruso, Bill Ray. Boom, you called it, dude. Bill Ray. I want to see what Bill Ray was doing here. Henry Boltonoff. I know this style cartoon, right? I mean, this is sort of like a classic sort of cartoon strip style. In the 1980s, what were they looking like? I mean, like in my mind, I'm kind of comparing some of these to the Mad magazines of like the 50s. So instead of just like this sort of wash, it would be like duotone or zipatone to do all of this shading. I mean, this looks like it was done with like a Crayola marker. Rambozo, Joe Catalano, Walter Brogan is the artist. So let's look. I'm just going to glance at the chat again. Yeah, Tom, well, I keep forgetting to get on Skype and send you a message. And I gotta like write it down or something. I don't know. John Severin corrects best artist. He started with Mad. That's what I thought. I mean, it's how I know the name. That's how I know um, most of the artists. That's how I was exposed to almost every artist I know is through Mad Magazine. So if I know the artist, it's probably because Michael Delphine is Mort Todd's real name. So he's getting like he's getting credited multiple times. That's funny. How did Mad die out again? Because I know that it was in its peak from the 70s to 80s. Trucker Ford, I would say, I mean, I don't know how it died out either, to be honest with you, but I think it was like 74 was the peak year, and then it just dropped. I mean, it wasn't like a straight drop, but it was like a pretty severe fall. And then, like in the past decade, it leveled off. I did a video on it. If you want to check that out, I kind of looked over those numbers. But maybe towards the end of this, after I go through like a magazine or two, I can bring up that thing again. This is really interesting caricature stuff. I mean, it almost looks, there's a kind of Jack Davis style to this, but it does not seem as like controlled as other caricaturists are. I mean, like this is like, and I don't know that I would pick that out as what's his face, Rocky. What's his name? Sylvester Stallone. Yeah, I mean, there's some like really kind of odd illustrations going on here. I do love this though. I always loved it when you would have bullets going through people and they would leave these like little puncture holes like that, where it's almost like a hole punch on paper. For some reason, that was always very amusing to me visually. And the hang-ups. Here we go. This is one of those things that, you know, who invented this? Was it Edwin? Is this guy just aping Edwin? I do not know. But it's like, the wall, it's leaking. It's a flood. Run for your lives. Splock. And here we go. Another original cracked sound effect for your collection. And it's sort of like Don Martin. You know, Don Martin was just famous for his sound effects, right? I mean, that's like, I feel like what people remember most about him. And it's like, are they just trying? I have such a bias against cracked, and I feel I need to like get out of that headspace, because it's like, I just have to enjoy this rather than keep comparing it. So, son, your quick thinking has saved the day. I give you a full pardon. I erase your 2-year sentence and give you your freedom. Really? It's over? I'm free to go? Absolutely, as soon as the ocean dries up. I like that. I like that. Whoop. That is a funny strip. Here we go. Pig. Oh, wait. Oh, it goes on. The Queen demands some changes to her statue. If you volunteer, it means you can stop hanging around here. I'll do it. So, I don't understand what you want us... What do you want with us? Yeah, what does the queen statue need? Jewelry. That is lovely. Who is the artist on this? Rob or Zakowski? I like this art. So look at this is that use of I didn't even notice that. That's beautiful. This is that use of like that the duotone or not zipatone. I forget what it is. Somebody explained it to me a while ago, and basically it's this paper. It appears to be normal paper, and you kind of wash it with this chemical, and wherever you apply the chemical, it will fill in these beautiful, perfect cross-hatched lines. And so you can do a few things with it. Like sometimes people will like cut out sheets of it and paste it where they need it. And other times it'll be like this, where they'll do their inks on it, and then they go and they paint over it. And so like right here, I mean, you get two different washes on it, and one of them exposes the diagonal lines, and then the other is lines perpendicular to that. So it's like this, I don't know, it's not like, it's kind of like Ben Day dots, but Ben Day is part of like the color printing or whatever. But it's, I love it. And it's what makes, I think, in my opinion, a cartoon, like how good these illustrations look, something like this could look so much better. And I know this is probably this guy's style or whatever, but I don't know. I don't like that style. But this dude's awesome. I love these illustrations. This, of course, is... Oh! Look who made an appearance. This is fun. Does that look familiar to anybody? Of course it does. Senor, I don't know how to say your last name. I wish I did, but I don't want to butcher it. You like Cracked Magazine more? I take that as a personal insult to me in this channel, okay? Just so you know. But anyway, yeah, look at Billy, our friend Billy Gaines. Whoops, wrong direction. I want to get a remote for this dumb camera. This is, yeah, big. Obviously, that's what this is a lampoon of. But one thing is that movie that came out recently, Shazam. It's like the guy who made it was like, or no. Now I remember. I'm misremembering the dumb story that I'm trying to tell. Big is essentially the story of Shazam. And I think the creator of Big was kind of inspired by that. Because you have, Billy Batson, a child who is given the powers of the wizard Shazam, and he becomes Captain Marvel. And so whenever he says the magic word, he becomes an adult. And there's all sorts of hijinks that ensue because he's a kid, but also an adult. Look at this lineup. But anyway, so yeah, Big was kind of inspired by that. Yeah, man, these are... I gotta say, it's always weird to see Bill Cosby, because like now he's canceled and in prison. It's like, sometimes cancel culture is a really good thing. In the case of Bill Cosby. But it's like I forget how big he was in the 80s and 90s until I'm going through Mad Magazine or reading comics. There'll be ads for like the American Cancer Society or for like, the American Heart Society. I forget which one he was in. And it's like, it's just Bill Cosby, He played the doctor on TV, so they got to get him on the in those ads. Red Heat. Yeah, who said that it was Red Heat? You were correct. There's Arnold in Red Heat. That looks like, it looks like buff Val Kilmer. That's who that looks like. There's a lot about Cracked that seems kind of rushed. Rick Altergott, like a lot of these illustrations, they're just sort of amateurish. I do like this though. I love ads. And this is like in Mad and Cracked, the nice thing was there was only ads for Mad and Cracked. The Cracked Invasion. Act now and we'll send you a free Cracked cap. Oh, I want a Cracked cap. I would do that. I wonder if there's Cracked caps on eBay. I'd wear that. I love wearing hats. Yeah. I'm gonna look on eBay for that. He was bigger than a Jello pudding pop. Kyle Bridget. Hey, shout out to Kyle Bridget. If you haven't checked out the interview that we did, it was amazing. We're gonna try, I think, to do a flipping through episode. So I'm pretty excited about that. Rick Algott's Doofus was pretty good. Yeah, I'm not feeling his illustration though. But wait, look at it, like switches. Who else did the art on this? This cannot be the same person. It's like, I'm going to zoom in on this. This is like a mystery. So this page is allegedly done by the same person who has done this page. Which is allegedly done by the same person who did this page. Did something go terribly wrong with the inking? Oops. We got 7 viewers and 4 likes. If you could, smash that like button. That's what they say. Like these buses colliding into one another. Smash that like button. I mean, I feel like I need an explanation about like the varying quality in this illustration. Dude, these are awesome right here. I always like seeing, the way people draw vehicles. And it's like, I know I've mentioned it before. I read a lot of like mainstream comics. And so what people do now, what a lot of artists do, is they'll take 3D models. Like they'll go to, I don't know, I was going to say a website, but then I realized I don't know any websites where you can do this. But they'll take these, they will take 3D models of cars, buildings, interiors, and they will they'll import them. They'll like find the right angle and then import a picture of it into Photoshop or whatever program they use for drawing, and then they'll sketch it out on top of that. And you can, like, once you know that that's what they're doing, it becomes really easy to spot. But then you miss out on stuff like this. And I know this is a more cartoony style, but I mean, American comic books are a cartoon. It's like, I mean, like these aren't perfect, but they're beautiful. And it's like, you miss out on that. It's like there's a kind of life in the illustration that you do not get because things are being traced. Like, for instance, and like, this thing is going fast. There's no speed lines, but the tire's off the ground. So it's like that thing's moving. You know that it hit hard because the angle that it's at, right? It's like the back end, the back end is tilted up, right? It's just, there's all sorts of stuff like that you lose out on when you use 3D models. And it's what makes an illustration dynamic and fun to look at. Even if it's like a bad illustration, it can be fun to look at. What is this? This is by Patrick. This is an illustrator that I don't know anything about. But his style kind of reminds me of somebody too. but I can't put my finger on it. It's like the little beady eyes. Something about the beady eyes reminds me of somebody. Cracked magazine sucked in the 90s and 2000s. And I loved it in the 70s and 80s. James Tamburo. Yeah, I was sort of up in the air about it. I think that if my uncle wouldn't have poisoned my mind against it, I shouldn't say that. We had fun, ragging on it, but it was, it wasn't my cup of tea. I don't know. Not sure why. I'm going to zoom out a little bit. Oops. Because here we have that Cracked Party pics. I think I know I've brought this up in a few videos I've done, like just about Mad, is that it's kind of hard for me to find photographs funny. I don't know. I have to say, especially if it's like, oh, look at this, Dan Klaus. Okay, this is just interesting. Here, okay. Now I got to read these captions because maybe this is not supposed to be amusing. Maybe it's just supposed to be informative. Where's that? So there's John Severin, Baby Buell, in action as the rocking and rolling Nanny Dickering. Whoa. Okay, that's what Don Martin looks like. I had this thing in my head. I always sort of picture the artists as looking like themselves. I think probably because of Al Jaffe. Al Jaffe would do his little signature, and it looks like he has the curly hair. He has this little grin, and so I always imagine the artist looking kind of like their art. And Don Martin looking more like Don Juan. Look, he's got that slicked back hair, wearing a sharp suit. The Young Turks, Ron Rover, Rick Altergott, and Peter Bagg, with Dan Klaus, with a potential. Interesting, yawn. Oh, look you can't even see what I'm laughing at. Great, good job. All right, so there's Dan Klaus. Dan Klaus, a world famous international cartooning superstar. Would that be too much to say? Would I be overstating it if I described Dan Klaus like that? And here we have again, who is this? Okay, so there's Dan Klaus again in the middle. There's Mort. What's his name again? Mort Todd? I gotta look. Yeah, 7 likes and 8 watching. That makes me feel good, man. Now we're up to 9? I don't know. Felt it was pretty good in the 90s and a lot more like Mad, but better before that. 86 to 90 was the best Cracked period. But all the early issues were good too. In the 2000s, it was pretty bad. I didn't even know they were still doing Cracked in the 2000s. I'll continue that in a sec. Remember they spoofed the A-Team. Yeah, I didn't realize Klaus. I don't know how to pronounce anybody's name. I didn't realize he worked for Cracked. Dahmer. That I've heard that Cracked did a better job with the jokes, the photo caption jokes. Mads almost always suck. There was a few. I remember there was a boxing one, and all of them were just what? It was just sort of baffling, but there was a couple funny ones in there. They spoofed Dukes of Hazzard. I had the first issue of the Brazilian Cracked magazine. It's the worst issue of my collection. Wait, Senor, are you Comic Thief on Twitter? Yes, that's Dan Martin. Klaus worked for Cracked and then he started his career. He was good friends with Mort Todd. Peter Baggy, one of the most influential alternative comics cartoonists. Dahmer, that's a good thing to know because, like, I'll write that down. I don't know that name, and it's like my scope of knowledge is so limited to mainstream comics and Mad Magazine that there's a whole world that I miss out on because of that. If Mad was as much of a sellout as Disney, do you think it would have lived longer? I don't know. I mean, like, I think that they sold out enough. It's hard to say. I just think that the quality went down, but also the people's expectation for humor changed. It's hard to have it's hard enough to have a monthly magazine that's based on current events, and it's even harder when it gets switched to semi-monthly. So it's like, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what would have made it live longer. I'm one of those people that is living in a dream world and doesn't want to say it's dead. So, Q. Senor, what does the letter Q mean? I asked a question and then you just wrote Q. I don't understand. Cool live stream. Hey, thank you, James Tamburo. Senor Fejown. Fejown. Senor Fejown. Excellent. Now I know how to say it. Fejown. Thank you for doing that. He's QAnon. Anyway, I'm gonna get back to the deal. What if we had the deep state in the chat? That's what we need. That's all I need right now is the deep state. Come breathing down my neck. Anyway, who else is in here? I think that's about it. All right. Oh, here we go. A huge Don Martin spread. Here, I'll slide that over so my mug isn't blocking it. Now, I think I have to like, I'll move myself like down here or something. I've gone on record on multiple occasions stating that I don't like hunchbacks. Like, I don't, okay. That's going to sound like, I don't know, kind of rude. I don't like hunchbacks in cartoons. I find it disturbing. If you have some type of disability, I'm not talking about you, and I should have not just said it so quickly. But for some reason, I find Don Martin's illustration of hunchbacks very disturbing. Especially stuff like this, where they're balancing on each other's. There we go. The Quasimodo Bros acrobatic act. This I find incredibly disturbing. This I like. Quasimodo on the left, just so you know. Champion hunch fighter in all Europe. And I mean, this is absolutely disgusting to me. I can't handle that. Yeah. Don Martin's the king. I mean, like, how can you? It's wonderful. You know what I noticed though about this is that he's not using those same sound effects. I wonder What if his sound effect library was owned by Mad Magazine? You've never seen him anywhere else. Just saying. Do I have dysmorphophobia? No, I don't. The fear of deformed people. I promise you, I don't have any sort of. I'm not phobic. I'm not discriminatory against the deformed. So don't read any Jodorowsky sci-fi. Then all hunchbacks all the time. Do they have hunchbacks in the Meta Barons? I hope not. I wanted to buy a bunch of those collections from Humanoids. R.I.P. Don. Yeah, that's Jiraiya. That's it. Like, this kind of goes to the. I'm plugging my what do you call it? Interviews a lot, and one of the reasons I'm doing that is because I started this channel. I was doing the Mad Magazine thing, and then Mort Drucker died, and it was I was kind of bummed out by that, and I know a lot of those dudes have done interviews. There's probably tons of video on them. There's stuff like this, like articles all about them. Here, I can do this. I actually have a video of this. It was a pretty interesting article. That'll come out next Wednesday. But I just thought it'd be cool to try to create like a time capsule of mad creative people, all in one place. And so that's kind of my motivation for doing all of that. Because there's, folks like Don Martin that have passed away. Mort Drucker passed away. Al Jaffe, I hope you're not watching, but he's closer to the grave than the cradle. That's all I'm going to say, right? Sorry, I don't want to bring down the stream, but yeah, when Jaffe passes away, I'm going to lose it. I will too, man, because he's he's one of the best. Imagine all the people he's influenced, or Matt in general have influenced, but it's unreal. The Colors coloring book. If you don't know, Colors was an amazing. Like in the 80s and 90s, everybody was super into Gangland, LA, and so there was like all kinds of movies just about Gangland, LA. It was like, I'm trying to think of like what now would be on that same level of like, do we love criminals anymore? Like, we loved the mafia. Gangland LA was really big. I don't know. Where I'm from Minnesota, and in Minnesota, Mort Todd! Tom Smith sent me. Hello, Mort Todd. That's pretty awesome. We're looking at some of your work in Cracked Magazine. Enjoying it quite a bit. I have so many questions. I got questions about Don Martin. This is welcome to my channel. I really appreciate it. I hope you stick around. I hope you check out some of my other videos. Ah, geez. Now I feel I should have worn a button-up shirt or something. Golly. We loved El Chapo. Yeah, that is true. No, you're right. So it was the mafia, Gangland LA, and then now it's what do you call it? The South American, Central and South America drug cartels. That's who we love now. We love them. We make television shows about them. We read books about them. Someday they'll be in humor magazines. Crocodile Dundee. You can tell when it was written. During the crack epidemic. The hilarious crack epidemic of the 1980s. Who did this artwork? Gray Moro. This is like, oops. So like just something I notice about this is there's not like, you see with like a lot of the folks here, I'll just slide this over too. No reason. Like a lot of the caricature artists use like really heavy lines, but it's like, these are like, it almost looks like advertising illustrations. I don't mean that like negatively. Crocodile Dundee 2. Is that the one where he delivers the famous line, "That's not a knife, this is a knife"? Or was that the first one? The gruesome gags. Henry Boltonoff. See that? Don't like that. This doesn't. So the person who asked if I'm afraid of the deformed, this doesn't bother me. All right. This bothers me. That bothers me. 2 heads. I'll have to charge you double for the lobotomy. Mort Todd is wearing a suit and tie. See, well, that makes me feel worse about myself. We got how many? 9 viewers, 7 likes, 10 viewers. We got 1 more viewer. If you are just showing up, please hit like. I think that helps. It gets people in here looking around. Look at this. Monster vote getters. This is we have George Gladder is the writer. John Severin is the illustrator. I love these illustrations. Whoop. Like this is, so like when I look at this, I see beautiful Severin illustrations. And then it's like, hey, Severin, could you take your time drawing Arnold next time? This guy looks a little, I don't know if I like that. But I don't know. I like this more cartoony style from him. It just seems to fit him so much better. I'm kind of speeding up through here. Oh, this is a multi-page one. You got Vampirella. Elect Vampirella. No ifs, ands, or buts. She's the most attractive thing in today's body politic. Unlike with other politicians, with Vampirella, what you see is what you get. Amen. Vote Vampy for president, and Transylvania will never be the same. That was wonderful. I'm just gonna power through that. And this kind of reminds me of, in a way, Peter Paul Porges. I don't know why. I think because of the sort of like the shading in it and stuff. Sort of grotesque people. The art of graffiti. I hate. Well, this is topical. I hate the police. Oops. Oh, I forgot to dot the I. All right. Let's see what else I got. I got loads here. If more, I wore that Vampy t-shirt the other day. Let's go. Here, I'm going to kind of spread these out as best I can. And then I'll just sort of like also talk and respond to the chat. And if you see one, that you want me to like kind of flip through, just say, I don't know, just describe it as best you can. And I'll talk to the chat. What's the year of that issue? It was 88. It was 88. Yeah. End of 88. It said display until November. So I don't know, probably came out in October. I don't know exactly how early those things came out. It's that real NWA stuff. You know what? Maybe. Well, no, I think. When did NWA come out? That was like mid 80s, right? What if that cartoon started it all? What if that's what they needed? That inspired everything. This is good because now Mort can tell his stories instead of me telling them all. Yeah, and then it's not like a game of telephone. The Batman issue was a bestseller. This one, there was another Batman. I'm assuming it's this one or this one. There was Batman was such a huge thing when that came out. I mean, did I miss the one with a giant Bart on the cover? No, Bart's there. I only made it through one so far, Kyle. But I mean, talking to people who grew up when these were coming out, it's like how many people had their first issue of Mad Magazine? Was it the Batman issue? And it's like, because that Batman, it was like putting him on the cover was printing money back then. That was unbelievable. So I think it's up between these two. Whomever wants to 240. Here, let me go back to the chat. The shut-ups went downhill as Cracked went on because they kept making the dialogue less concise. I think that's like... Oh, I got to get a drink of this. That's something that happens with a lot of stuff, not just humor magazines too, because I know with... what do you call it? Like with comic books, right? I was reading stuff from the 70s and 80s, or mostly the 80s recently. John Carter, Warlord of Mars. I was reading that series. And they're quick reads. They rely heavily on the visuals. And now, modern comics. Here, if I want to put somebody on blast, I just got this, Strange Adventures #4. I guarantee if I open up to a random page, there's going to be an obscene amount of dialogue. And I think people forget sometimes, especially writers naturally, that they're working in a visual medium. That's what sells comics, is the art. That's what does it. I have another example of that, right? Is who was you had all-stars who is it? Wait. So you had this, right? X-Men #1 by Jim Lee. Absolute all-star. And, after he and McFarlane and Liefeld went, people say that the big two were like, never again. We're never going to make artists the most important thing because we don't want to lose them. But I mean, there's a reason why these are the best-selling books. It's because they had awesome artists. And anyway, sorry, that was my rant. 249. No, this is 248. 248? Is that what we're doing? Now you got another Bart one? I do. I got a bunch of these. Here, I'm going to do this one. And then I'll do the Bart one. The other Bart one. This is the Bart one? Oh, no, the big Bart one. There we go. I'll do Batman and Bart. The Bees. The Bee Boys. All right, I gotta... Dude, I gotta get a nicer chair. I sit in this thing. The school year's about to start. I'm gonna be sitting in this thing so long. It's made out of plywood. All right, I'm gonna go back to the chat before I get started on this. First one there on the left. Now you got another Bart one. Mort and I vote for the Batman one. It's better. Also, it's what it is. Kyle Bridget, I also think Ninja Turtles are on the cover. Oh, yeah, they're getting smoked by it. First Cracked, Kyle Bridget's first ever Cracked magazine. With another Severin cover. Was Severin the Mingo of Cracked? Hey, Mort Todd, who is the Norman Mingo of Cracked magazine? I know that's probably like an unfair question to ask, but if you get a chance, if you can decide. Cracked goes batty. Let's see. 248 came out October 1989. Cracked goes batty. Still just $1.49. All right. I'm just sort of looking at these little details in this illustration. I like this. So there's like a little cat bat and a rat bat. That's lovely. I quite enjoy that. Does that qualify as chicken fat? Kyle Bridget, mad artist. Does that go? You know what? I'm such a nerd. It's like, I feel like colloquially I know what chicken fat is, but I was like, I'm going to look it up. And all I could find was literal definitions of chicken fat. So, I don't know. Severin did about 999% of the covers. All right, so he was like the Mingo. Fun fact, Cracked was one of the first to parody Star Wars. Mad came in second. Listen, guys, I know, I can tell you guys loved Cracked magazine. And I know you guys are really trying to get me on board Cracked magazine. It's a really hard sell, okay? I was indoctrinated from a very young age to believe that Mad magazine was superior. And so I'm sorry. I'm sorry, everybody. That's my life. Cracked interviews Rabid, the boy wonder. Skeen Catling. Holy Benedict Arnold, batty man. Try and dump me, will you? I got a new bat buddy. Wait a second. Call 1-900-KILL-RABBID now. Wait. What year was this? 89? What year was Jason Todd killed? Gaines at Mad would wait for box office results. Cracked knew what the kids liked. You need to look up Bill Elder and chicken fat. That'll get. Well, yeah, Bill Elder is like the king of it. Holy smokes, we're up to 12 viewers right now. Welcome to Flippin' Through. We're flipping through some Cracked magazines. If you enjoy what you're watching, go ahead and hit like. I sure would appreciate that. Yeah, that's one of the things, Mort, is that like, it's funny. I mean, if that's true, if he really did wait for the box office results, it is kind of, yes, we're okay. It's kind of amusing because in a lot of the older issues that I went through, one thing that I found interesting is like they would be making fun of what do you call it? Like sitcoms. Like there's a nursing sitcom that lasted one season, but it must have been like the hot thing on, one of the 7 channels that existed at the time. So they made fun of it, but, nobody knows it now. Well, Tom Smith knows it because he knows all of that old stuff. But, yeah, all right. So Mort Todd, he saw what I was thinking. He read my mind. There was a campaign at DC Comics where it was Jason Todd was the Robin at the time, and they had a 1-800 number, and if you called it in, you could vote for whether or not Jason Todd would die at the hands of Joker. I don't know if they revealed it would be Joker that killed him, but it was that was the deal, is that the fans decided if he was going to die. And I heard, I can't confirm this. I read it a long time ago, but what pushed it over to the kill was that I think it was like one dude called in like hundreds of times and just spammed the vote. And that's what got Jason Todd killed. And if you don't know, he was beaten to death by the Joker with a tire iron, or with a, what do you call it? Like a pry bar. It's like, it still goes down as like one of the darkest moments in DC history. And I mean like lowest moments in DC history. Let's see. Believe me, I love Cracked in its own camp, but I believe Mad is superior. Thank you, Mr. Irvin. Just link your lines on my Facebook page. Hey, Mort Todd, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Cracked was always more tuned into contemporary comics than Mad. I wrote and penciled this story spectacular. Wait, Mort, you lured Kyle Bridget away. I better still get that viewer number, Kyle. All right, otherwise I'm going to be pissed. I wrote and penciled the story spectacular. Severin Inks. Crowbar. Mad is king. Mort, what did you write? Which one did you write? Let's get going. So like the vital features, I cannot do what I do normally, which is predict who did what. But obviously some Don Martin stuff. Married with Children. Sylvester P. Smythe and Guano Cleaner. Guano. I learned what guano means from Ace Ventura, When Nature Calls. That's how I learned what guano. Guano is bat poop, for those of you who do not know. Let's just get right into it. Oh, Batman to the rescue. Oh, I gotta move this over. All right, I love this. This is this is pretty good. I really like this gag. All right, so she's mugging him. Come on. Jeez, Louie, I got so much stuff on my desk. There's a tussle, a struggle. Oh, she gives it up. Batman chokeholds him, gives her the money. But in the background, you see, wanted, Grandma Dillinger. This is the bad thing. Grandma Dillinger dropped her revolver. So I don't know how she's going to stay in business. Harried with Children. Rich Kriegel. Oh, Mike Ricigliano. Yeah, I mean, he's definitely got that, like, visual storytelling down, for sure. Who did the art in this? I'm really enjoying this. That's what I wanted to see. Mike Orzakowski. Yeah, this dude is like, he is very talented. I like this a lot. I think was he the one that did Big? Or, well, not. It's now lost in the stack, so I can't find it. Was he the one that I liked before with that awesome shading? I think it may have been. John Severin, artist. Yeah, I love his cartoony style so much more. The Batty Scooper. Yeah, okay, so he did do the big one. That's good to know. The Bat Bola. I tried to make one of these. I tried. I took a rope and I tied two. I don't know if you guys, if there's any sailors in the audience, I tied two monkeys' fists on the end of a rope, and I threw it at my kid. And it didn't work. It didn't work at all. She just kept running. The underage radar baddie gun. Baddie trash can. I don't know what it is, but there are things like, okay, oops, I got to zoom out to focus up. This right here. I love these, like, for some reason, this is just perfection. I don't know what it is. It's like the gesture, the motion, that facial expression. It's just beautiful. I love that illustration. Yeah, I definitely need a remote so I don't zoom in when I mean to zoom out. Okay, here we go. This is the hard sell for me. This is the one that, here I'm going to move myself back up. The Cracked Lens. I like that name. The Bat Photo Scrapbook. Kurtzman didn't think Severin's drawings were very funny. Clearly, he was mad. Severin was good at posing. Useless Curiosity, Married with Children, was the first TV cable show spoofed on Brazilian Man magazine. If you're unaware, I have a huge Brazilian following on my channel. Why? Because they have good taste. Obviously, they like Mad Magazine. They like my channel. What are you going to do? What? Okay. I'm just going to read a few of these guys. And if I get enraged by them, I'm moving on. Robin was right. This bat room is a little small. Okay. But this was from that 1930s Batman television series, or they may have been like serials. I don't know exactly. I did live action Batman, like that. I don't know. I was never like super into it, but I think it was like the 1930s. He had a television or serialized show, like in the front of movies or something. I don't know how technology worked back then. But I always thought that this was a super cool outfit. Like he had the underwear. You can see it there. So he has the underwear. I mean, the ears look dumb. The ears look super dumb. But the logo, that bat symbol, was really, really cool. Personally, I found it much more appealing than the Batman, the 1966 Batman. I think that if it was that cowl on that suit, ooh, that would have been really cool looking. Anyway, here, I'll give him one more chance. Here, he's making fun of somebody who's in a wheelchair. I'm sorry you were hurt, sir, but we weren't drag racing. We were pursuing an evildoer. All right, I kind of like that. What is this? '40s cereal. Really? All right, Mort Todd. Wait, I think I froze. Okay, I'm back. Most of these were from your personal collection. So, I mean, like, stuff like this, right? These are like promo photos, not hard to come by, but like the 1940s cereal, I'm curious as to some of those. Hey, Mort Todd, I would be interested. I know you've just seen me for the first time in my entire life, or your entire life, I do interviews with people from Mad Magazine, and perhaps we could get in contact with each other and talk a little bit, because I would be very interested to talk with you about humor and illustration and all of that stuff. So if you would be interested, that'd be a wonderful thing for me. But yeah, what kind of photos were these? The 40s Batman one. The Saboteurs. Is this that same guy? What's going on? None of this is attributed. Did I miss something? Yeah, like some of the folks that work in this magazine remind me so much of like just straight up strip cartoonists. Like this, I forget, like that's like another thing I don't really know that well, is like all the, I guess like almost like this, I kind of have like a High and Lois vibe off this. I think that's what I'm thinking. Vic Martin did Hud and Deanie. Dang, why? This is what I don't get. Why don't you guys have YouTube channels where you talk about it? Clearly, you all know so much more about cartoonists and illustrators than I do. It's like I ask a question and somebody's got that answer like that. It's amazing. Dinosaurs of Rock Attack. Dude, this is like really something that I like, is I feel like, I mean, after these photos, right, it's just like you're getting hit after hit of cartoon. Boom, boom. You need a break? You don't get a break. Boom, boom. As somebody, I think, like I've talked about before, the movie things are ones that I was not super into. I was most into the strips, the Don Martin, the Aragones things, and so like that's the stuff that appealed most to me. Comic-Con Confidential. This is going to be good. Because this is up my alley. This is like the other world that I travel in. Comic collector Mondo I don't know why that makes you laugh, has invented a plastic bag that will keep his comic collection in mint condition for over 200 years. You know what? Maybe I'll read the setup. I always fail to do that. Cracked salutes comic book conventions everywhere, and in particular, the San Diego Comic-Con on its 20th anniversary. Rest in peace. Rest in peace, Comic-Con San Diego. And with Batman and other comic characters stomping on movie and TV screens, what better way to show our disrespect than with an article giving the lowdown with the Comic-Con Confidential. Yeah, Mort, I'll figure out how to message you. I'm not on Facebook, but I'll figure it out. I'm a smart boy. So he will keep his comic collection in mint condition for over 200 years. In order to cash in on his idea, Mondo is now exploring ways to keep his body in mint condition for over 200 years. Rejuvenating chamber, Michael Jackson model. This was, again, what year did this come out? 89? Yeah, there was like, this was prime Michael Jackson mystery time. Like, where we found out things like he lives or he sleeps in a hyperbolic chamber, like an oxygen tent or something. Just bizarre stuff. Miss Prudence Clatch will be inaugurated into the Comic-Con Hall of Fame this year. I'm going to zoom in. I think I'm going to spend a little bit more time on these. Prudence is only one of 9 known mothers who during the golden age of comics did not throw out their son's comic book collection. For those of you who don't know, that's really why comic books from the golden age are so expensive. All right, I see Mr. Mort Todd. I'll get a hold of you on YouTube. Thank you. Milton Schlock has been voted Publisher of the Year for his innovative scratch and sniff comics. To date, Schlock's only problem is how to reach a scratch and sniff version of the Human Torch without setting off smoke alarms. Living legend Jay Hackman is the biggest money-making comic book artist of all time. Jay's biggest regret is that his hectic schedule hasn't allowed him to draw a comic page in over 5 years. It's kind of funny because there are people who, there are a lot of comic artists now like shifting over to YouTube. There's a ton of comic artists who are on Twitter, and it's like, guys, with the amount of tweets that you send out, how are you getting any work done? Like, you should, manage your time a little bit better. Comic book groupie Wanda Wachowski collects real-life cartoonists. What? Wanda prefers her cartoonists to be mint condition. However, when desperate, she has been known to accept colorists, letterers, and staplers. I had a thought and then I lost it. These illustrations are just beautiful. This is what, look at that, kind of looks like me. Can I do that pose? Guys, I think I'm going to start trying to collect original artwork. Oh yeah, I remember I was going to say, I didn't realize Comic Cons were a thing until I was like an adult. I didn't even know things like, there's this, I forget, if you can't tell, my memory is garbage. There's this kid I interviewed. I say kid, but he's like my age. And he has this amazing Mad Magazine collection where he is collecting signatures for people on Mad magazines. Here, I'm going to pull it up real quick. Bradford and Smith. That's who it is. Here, I got to hit pause. Where is it? Let's do... Whoop. There we go. Bradford and Smith. Look at that. That's when I had my long hair and I cut it all off. But anyway, he has like one of the greatest Mad Magazine collections. And he has one of my favorite things on it is that he's got signatures for, there's an issue with JFK on it. And he has, I still can't believe him. It's so amazing that he has this. He has the signatures of, what do you call it? Hold on. Where's my display cache? I'm going to hide that. I don't want to see I don't want you guys to see what gets recommended to me. But he has signatures from people like, one of these Secret Service members who was there, who like dove on the limousine when JFK was shot. He has a signature of a woman who was a bystander when JFK was shot. And he's just like, the thing that it reminded me of is me being an idiot and not realizing that you could reach out to artists and creators and like get information from them, get signatures from them, talk to them. Original art. I didn't know original art was a thing. So that should kind of tell you how dumb I am. Do I read Zing? Is that for me or... I don't know. No, I don't not know. I don't read Zing magazine. I've not heard of it. I'll check it out though. If it's something that you would recommend, I will definitely check that out. Here, I got to write it down though, otherwise I forget. There's a ton of these old humor magazines. Look at the panel that looks like me. Oh, Zing Comics. I'm an idiot. Anyway, damn it. I lost my train of thought. I don't even know what I was talking about anymore. That's probably good because I think Cracked Magazine is more interesting than whatever bizarre thought I'm having right now. This is, okay, so the Batman, what's hot and what's not. This is something that I love conceptually. Reminds me of that, well, I guess I should say Mad Magazine started doing something in the Fundolini pages called the Godfrey Report, which was like, it's basically hot, not, and not, but there was 3 categories. I love these things. Hot and not. Hot, the death of Robin. Death of Robin's so hot right now. Not Robin's new replacement. Hot, Jack Nicholson's Joker. Not Cesar Romero's Joker. And I love this. Who did this art? Gary Fields did the art. This is what I love about this. Gary Fields is a man of culture because he knows that famously Cesar Romero, who was a legitimate actor, when it came time to put on the Joker makeup, he was like, I ain't going to shave my mustache. Put the makeup on top of it. And so you can see he included that little, the mustache that Cesar Romero had. That's a wonderful detail. Whoop. All right, let's see what else is hot and not. The Batman TV theme. So hot. Prince's Bat theme. Yeah, that was rough. Hot. Batman the movie. Hey, babe, call my agent. Not Batman the merchandising. I don't know, like, I was but a boy when Batman came out in 1989, so I don't really know what that merchandising was like. But if it was anything like when The Force Awakens came out, I remember I was in the produce section of the grocery store. There's a bag of oranges that had like R2-D2 on it. And I was like, this is getting out of hand, man. Sunkist is getting getting in on the licensing game. This is really cool. Geez, what a cushy job being Batman. These are really cool. Who did these illustrations? Do I have to look at the table of contents? Let's see. Okay, real quick. I didn't notice this, but I really like this. Dedicated to Bob Kane, Bill Finger, and DC Comics. For those of you who don't know, Bill Finger, for the longest time, I mean, really, I think it was up until Batman versus Superman, from DC, did not get credit for his work on Batman, which is a shame. I mean, he died like a pauper, basically. It's so that's really cool that they included that. Yeah, that's all I'm going to say. But what I like about this is, like, this sort of reminds me right here. I don't know if it's like Mort, who drew this? You got to have a better memory than me. Anyway, this reminds me kind of like John Romita Jr. Oh, Pat Boyette. It says it right there. God, why didn't I just read it? Kind of reminds me of John Romita Jr. who has done Batman. But I mean, he obviously was most famous for like his work on Spider-Man and Daredevil and all that stuff. But yeah, that looks a lot like the way John Romita Jr. draws Batman. Oh, is this a letters page? Dear Cracked. Yes. See how long it takes me to process basic information? Dear Cracked, Don Martin is the greatest. I'm really glad he's now in my favorite magazine, Cracked. I bought some of the greeting cards he drew, but all my friends stole them. Keep up the great work. Martin Donaldson. Martin Donaldson was just fishing for a handout. Don just started drawing a newspaper strip, a daily and Sunday called The Nutheads. If your local paper doesn't carry it, call them and demand that they do. The Nutheads? I've never heard of the Nutheads. Oh, dang. This is beautiful. Cracked form end function, the Battywing. These, there was this thing, Rurik Tyler. Rurik Tyler also did the cover. Wait, who is the guy who did these little things? Is this Mort Todd? Mort Todd, did I read your comment correctly? This is you? Zoop. Look at him. Hey, that's pretty cool, man. Yeah, I want to talk to you, Mort. Ah, wrong direction. Damn it. Send your baddie Oh, wait, Mort, I got a question. Okay, I'm going off the... Oh, no, they don't... Hey, Mort, how do I get a Cracked hat? If I mail in a subscription card, do you know how... Will they still honor that and send me a Cracked hat? That was in the first issue that I flipped through. Anyway, these things I love. It reminds me as a kid of the incredible cross sections. I think like DK put them out, and yeah, this is the type of stuff that I love because I can spend just an incredible amount of time just staring at it and examining all of these. Like you go in and you see. Like he has like the little flame there that sets it off. He's got like Venetian blinds. I don't know. That little rocket right there. Oh, he's got beans. And look at this. What does that say? Boot? Something gum? I don't know what. Bat gum? That would probably make sense if it said bat gum. Bat and arrow? Like, look. Yeah, I love that. Look at that's like, that looks like Christopher Nolan Batman. Anyway. Yeah, I absolutely love that stuff. Oh, the sounds of Batman. Now, this is the stuff... I gotta say, like, these are it's sort of like Don Martin and like Sergio Aragonés. They started making Sergio do this in Mad every once in a while, where they would have him be like a mad look at Star Wars. And it's like, oh, look at that. I can get one of those. I can get one of those hats. Anyway. They started making Aragonés do this where he would be like a mad look at Star Wars, and it's like I don't want to see Sergio draw R2D2 or BB-8, and I kind of feel that way about Don Martin. Like the interest I have for him drawing Batman is about the same as I have for Aragones drawing Star Wars. A cracked look at Batman. that was very well timed. I was just complaining about that. Skate a curb. Oh my gosh. This is genius. So I mean, if you've read old comic books, you know what this page is. It's all the terrible things that you send in for. This thing, Mort, this thing, yeah, Mort, this thing, okay? Do you see this? This is a bucket hat, okay? Have you never watched The Honeymooners? Ed Norton? I'm like a modern day Ed Norton, okay? So you better watch it the way you talk about this thing. This is a beautiful hat, all right? Oh, that ruined my night, Mort. Ed Norton from The Honeymooners. Can I zoom in on these close enough? Sorry, guys, I won't make it a habit to scold my audience. Rectum skate shorts with internal rectal thermometer. Be the hottest or the coolest. Only $72. This one, I like this one. The Erector recap jock strap, great for crotch endangering handrail bales. Comes in 2 different styles for males and females. Yeah, Mort. I was this close to shifting over to Cracked Magazine, changing it to a Cracked channel, and then you had to come at my hat like that. James Bond oil slick. Who wrote this? Who's responsible for this? Wait. This is a Santa Cruz ad? I gotta find out. Is that what this is? I gotta know. Oh, okay. I was in Thrasher magazine with a pic of Bill Gaines signing my Alfred deck. Not an ad. They came up. Okay, so they came up with the idea. I love it. I mean, who wrote this? That's what I really want to know. Because this is really funny. I do like this M60 machine gun. Put firepower where you need it with this baby. M60 general purpose machine gun. Mom leaning on you to clean your room. Don't get mad, get even. Oh, that didn't age well. But this is great. What if Bruce Payne didn't become Batty Man? Ron Wagner. Look at that face. I have this Paul Levine History of Mad Magazine, History of DC Comics book, and there was who is it? I forget. There was this Superman artist, and I know him, and I know his name, but it escapes me right now. But one of the things that was so cool is seeing it was just Superman's head, but from different angles and different expressions. And it was like when I was looking at that, it really solidified in my mind, or I guess like illuminated for me the power that these, like, the face and these facial expressions have for telling a story. And it's like, I mean, this face is just so awesome. I mean, it's sort of like at a slight angle. It's looking like the camera's looking down on him. And it's just like all of these details are just, I don't know, it's just masterful. I love that. I really like that illustration of that face. Again, hitting the wrong button. This is what I want. I want like a little device that I go zoop, zoop. You know, like I push it one direction for out, and then I pull it in to go in closer to the page. And then I won't ever mess it up ever again. Look at this face with that. Hey, Mort, this is actually a question that you would be able to answer for me about the washes, specifically like on this guy's face. Oop. The ones that create those, like the oh no, it's not. I guess it's probably best over here where you get like the lines right there on the suit that are just perfectly parallel lines. I know it's not Zipatone. Zipatone is like that screen stuff that you apply to it, but is it like duotone? I don't remember the actual name. Kyle Bridget, you should know this too. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. I'm not going to yell at people anymore. I forgot. Ron Wagner did a lot of cool Marvel comics, and we were drinking buddies. It was Duo Shade Paper. That's what it was. Duo Shade Paper. Yes. There was George Woodbridge was super good at using it too. And yeah, Duo Shade Paper. I got to write that down because I talk about it so often, and I love it. I never used it because I'm under 60. But it's, yeah, there's this, it's like, yeah, it's apparently I think the chemical is not super healthy for you. And yeah, so you paint on the chemical and it like brings out those shading things, but it is so cool when it's used. And like George Woodbridge would do these beautiful, I think even, I can't remember the name, but anyway, like you could paint these beautiful landscapes just using Duo Shade Paper and those different like kind of toning things. Mort Todd, don't sniff the chemical. That's what my photography teacher told me. I didn't listen to her. Not going to listen to you either. Wally Brogan. Wise ass. What is this? Wait a second. What is this? I'm moving on from this. I don't know who Wise ass is. Rabid the Boy Wonder. All right, I'm going to move on because I think this Batman one will probably be my last one for the night. I think we peaked at like, what did I peak at? Like 13 concurrent viewers. I had 12 for a while. As I get started on this next one, I got to take a sip of water and like rest my voice a little bit. If you guys want to like just converse with me via chat, I can do that. I just got to rest my throat a little bit. If you want to share this out, I would certainly appreciate that. 11 likes. I can't complain about that. Holy cow. All right. Irvin referred to this as Jack Davis ripoff, the Rabid Boy Wonder. What do you guys think of that? But I guess it's like the TV show Wise Guy is like. Oh wait, hey, before I go on, does my microphone sound okay? I switched it out. Um, I don't have my headphones in because it's like it's not set up right, so it's actually I get a slight delay in it. Um, but yeah, the thing about like shows like Wise Guy, it's like what 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 is this? Nobody remembers it. It's not like something that, you know, I mean there's shows like Honeymooners and all I mean like just uh you know Honeymooners, I Love Lucy, um, Nick at Night, right? They would show all of these. So, like, even somebody like me, when I was a kid, I could watch them. They never showed Wise Guy, Welcome Back Kotter, even. Like, I know what Welcome Back Kotter is because they showed it on, like, syndication at, like, 2 in the morning. But it was the, I don't know. It's interesting. Are you talking about the Batman one? Oh, the Wise Ass is the ripoff. Oh yeah, the feet, man. That you know, it's like it's one of those things where you definitely see when people are influenced or they when they're trying to imitate somebody else's style. I think like a big part of that is just being an artist and getting comfortable with your own stuff. If you've watched a lot of my videos where I'm looking at the old Mads, like things like Mort Drucker's first appearances in Mad Magazine, Mort Drucker wasn't drawing as Mort Drucker. You know, Al Jaffe's first things he did for Mad Magazine, he wasn't drawing as Al Jaffe. He was aping somebody else's style. So I think that there are like I think it's like a fair thing to point out, but I don't necessarily believe that it's a negative thing, if that makes sense. Did I get Mad number 15? No. The earliest one I have I think is Mad number 16. And I was thinking about doing that one pretty soon. Just cuz I mean it's the only comic issue that I have and I haven't done any other comic issues. So oh, Mad 15 for 2020. Yeah, I did get that one. I have not read through it. I guess I didn't know that Mort did. You should. Mort Todd says you should see Jaffe and Early Cracked, and Drucker at DC Comics. I did not know that Mort Drucker did any work at DC. That's pretty cool. I think it looks like some new people dropped in. Hey, if you haven't hit that like button, hit like, share this out. I would appreciate it. Yeah, Trucker, let me know how you like number 15. There was actually there was the issue that I did 288, Mad 288, and they have a superhero thing in that issue, and I'm curious to see if it shows up in Mad 15 because it was yeah, glad to make your collection. Inventor for hire. Who is inventor for hire? Glad to make your collection. I don't know what that means. Berg in the 40s. Mort Todd. Yeah, Dave Berg is somebody who his early work I love. I absolutely love his early work. But when he just was doing that kind of, the lighter side of, it just got so boring and just so, it's going to sound really rude, but it felt lazy. I mean, I really did not enjoy the lighter side of. But his earlier stuff is just unbelievable, in my opinion. Who was Inventor for Hire who said glad to make your collection? It makes me think that Inventor for Hire was some type of artist who stopped by. Sorry, I declined. You mean you more, are you sorry that you did decline, or are you saying sorry to Berg, I decline? I'd be interested to know. Anyway, I'm going to take some more sips of this. I've been BSing for like an hour and 46 minutes. That's a long time for me. Both. Okay. The shut-ups. You look terrible, Shelley. Remember the doctor told you to slow down. Shut up, Pearl. I never get to work on time as it is. I guess I don't really get these. I mean, like, I get it. I get the joke. But I don't get it, you know? Lou Silverstone. Jerry DeFuccio. Wait a second. Both of those were those both Mad recruits? Yeah, I agree. Those colors, I like those colors. And it's like, it looks like it's just like watercolor too. But then like the shark looks like it's pencil almost, like colored pencil or something. Yeah, that's what I thought. Well, I knew he was, but then Lou Silverstone, I wasn't entirely sure. Editors, Cliff Mott. Mort, is that one of your aliases? John Severin, Don Martin, Walter Brogan. Yeah, John Severin. Holy smokes, he's done it all. He's done all of these so far. No, he didn't do this one, but boy, he's done a lot. Can I tell you something? Know what these are missing? And I know Tom Smith is perhaps going to disagree. Mort, do you know what these are missing? Frank Jacobs style literary illusion. That's what they're missing. Walter James Brogan. Some very cool caricatures. Like real loose style. Look at that. I mean, like, this is sort of, I mean, I wouldn't say, I mean, I guess I would talk, this guy, the way he inks, it reminds me kind of Jack Davis. Like that, like very, these sort of like loose lines, like, I don't know. It's just like things feel very fluid, right? Like, I think I always imagine Jack Davis like inking that he's moving kind of fast, right? Like he knows what he's doing and he's ripping through things. Dink Tracy. God, I can't even read anymore. This was my jam. I loved Dick Tracy. I mean, it had everything in it. Look at, I mean, there's like Prune Face. I forget, what was his name? I forget. Maybe it wasn't my jam. Maybe I like the idea of it more than I actually like it. This is kind of interesting, is that it's like on the splash page. I mean, look, it's real intricate. There's all this detail, And then, boom, 3 and 4 things. There's like, I mean, the background's super simple. I mean, like this, obviously, it's a dark room or whatever. But I mean, like, this is quick inking. The detail drops off big time. And I mean, as an artist, that probably saves a lot of time. Here, this is great. This is the type of thing that now in a comic book would be a 3D model, or you just take a picture and you trace directly over it. Maybe this was traced, but at least it wasn't traced in a computer program, because that ends up looking pretty terrible. Dan Close and I did Dick Tracy, ugly family earlier called Skip Tracy. Big Boy, that's right. I feel like this this artist did a really good job of capturing, like, I don't know how caricature artists describe what they do, but it's like they captured the essence of it. Like, you know, like this is Al Pacino, right? That's what's his face, the guy from Soap or whatever, what Shampoo. What was he from? What's his name? He was also in oh God. Anyway, this kid, he was also in Hook, right? Like that kid, his like weird, like very kind of like sharp nose, Madonna. I mean, like he's done a really good job of capturing all of these guys. And this is something Crack did a lot of that other people didn't. Oh wait, Nanny Dickering. This isn't. Is this like a recurring character? Is that her? This is the same lady. I think. Right? Yeah, and then she showed up in the photographs. Holy smokes. Look at that. This is a beautiful illustration. Man has toiled since the dawn of time to overcome his nature, but the same basic truths keep popping up. These truths are really basic. You can't get more basic than the 7 deadly sins. Pride, envy, lust, that's just beautiful. Yeah, I love this. I'm like kind of speechless. This is really cool looking. Phillips. No, know what it looks like? This actually, it looks like... Wait, that's not it. Where do I put all my stuff? No, it's not. I was going to say it kind of looks like the same guy. And it is like a similar style, but it's just not... It isn't the same person. Wow. I don't know, man. Oh, look at there's more. Look at this. Okay, so we all know about the 7 deadly sins, but not many of you are fully aware of the other, not quite so heinous sins. They probably don't even have a clue about the 17 not so deadly sins. I'm just going to not even talk about this. I know that doesn't make for like that great of entertainment, but it's like, just drink that in. Okay, so this is Phillips. So in that Santa Cruz one, it was attributed to Phillips Studio. So this is actually the same artist or the same group that came up with that other one. Yeah, this is beautiful though. I love this. Ogling. Look at all the eyes. The BS one. Tasteful. Klutz. Gosh, this is cool, man. This is really, really cool. Spy and Saboteur. Oh, look at this. I'm going to read this letter because this is actually really close to where I live. Dear Brand, besides Brand X, I loved Warren Beatty. Warren Beatty, that's who it was. I loved Warren Beatty meets the real Dick Tracy. I especially liked the way cracked interviewer came on the scene, Nanny Dickering, and gave the secret password. Hi, it's me, Anyface. Rich Summer, Stillwater, Minnesota. So, were the letters mostly sincere? I'm so used to the letter department being like insulting that holy smokes, we were peaking. Wait, how are we? No, we peaked at 16. Holy smokes. But we are at like 14 and with 13 likes. This is by far like the most popular stream I've done. And that makes me pretty happy. If you like this, if you are a new viewer, you're just walking in, of course you can watch this like starting from the beginning. But hit subscribe if you want more content around humor magazines, mostly Mad Magazine, as well as interviews with creators and from humor magazines. Dork Tracy. This is what I like about this, is that it is I forgot to mute my phone. I like that it is Don Martin, but not doing Don Martin characters. So like the thing that I think that bothered me about the Batman is that it was his typical style with like the the round nose, the old kind of like a stretched out head and stuff. We still have the floppy feet, but it's, I don't know, it feels different enough where learn to recognize the hardened criminal. Flat Top disguises himself as a table in a coffee house. Oh man, I kind of forgot how grotesque the characters in Dick Tracy were. It's sort of like the what do you call it? What was it? Who had that phobia for being afraid of the deformed? It's like if you are afraid of the deformed, don't check out Dick Tracy. Battle of the Tattoo Artists. Look at that. Detroit's finest, RoboCop. The RoboCop suit features a very distinct visor. Aside from ripping off Cyclops of the X-Men, what is the function behind its bold form? Officer Murphy now lives permanently in his suit, and federal law requires that he have a slot for his mail. Hey, why do RoboCop's Detroit deltoids look so much like parking meters? That's in case RoboCop gets demoted to meter maid. Why would the producer spend millions on this costume and yet make the kneecaps out of something as mundane as can openers? Peter Weller wanted a way to get out of the costume. and the prospect of RoboCop 3, henceforth, the can openers. Was RoboCop 3 the one that Frank Miller directed? Or is that RoboCop 2? Rurik Taylor has some, he can really, he has some depth as an artist. He seems like he can do some pretty different things. Walter Brogan did this. This works really well for me. I mean, I think this is a pretty common thing. I don't think this is all that special, but how they kind of wash out the background to like kind of make the foreground pop. I do like it more like, so we were talking about Jack Davis earlier, and I like how when Jack Davis would do that, well, one, he would also have like a midground, but even his background was like full of stuff. But Trucker Ford, I'm reading Mad Magazine 15 from 2020, and it's pretty dark. You'll know what I mean on page 14. I'll check it out tonight. I'll check it out. It's 11 p.m. Good night. Thank you. Hey, thank you for coming by. Well, he's probably gone now. Anyway. Yeah, Cracked History of Skateboarding by Robert Wagner. Robert Wagner? No. Is it Robert Wagner? That's the actor. Where is he? Ron Wagner. That's who it is. I really, like, one of my favorite things about, like, Mad Magazine and Cracked Magazine is when artists can show different styles in the same article. You see this a lot of times when they're making fun of cartoons or time periods, right? Like, you know, the Lone Ranger here. It's like a very different style with this dinosaur or the charioteer. I really like that. And I imagine that's fun for an artist to be able to like flex those muscles and like switch things up a lot more. Animal One-Shots by Roger Brown and Mike Mike by Roger and Mike. Oh, the Three-Breasted Woman. I don't know if they did. I blew by that. I didn't see. We got to check. Do they have her? I know that was, I was a young man when that came out, and it really changed my life. And no, they don't. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Mr. Irvin. Look at that. The tryouts for the nickel. Photographers don't like that. It's like, be candid. All right. Just don't look at the camera. Obviously he didn't get the job. Oh, the last issues. Oh. Starchy. Theoretically thunk up by George Gladder, blatantly botched up by Pete Fitzgerald. Starchy. Was that like a common thing? Because I know Mad Magazine did Starchy. Was that a common gag? Or was this a little bit of a borrowing the concept? Boom. 13 viewers. Thank you. Inventor for hire. Who are you? Look, he says this again. Who are you? Inventor. Oh, wait. Oh, Roger. Who is he? He's Roger. Jeez Louise. Roger who? Roger Brown. Jeez Louise. This is like... this is like kind of crazy. I got... Listen, guys, this is like a brush with fame. I have a former editor of Cracked Magazine, a writer of Cracked Magazine, and a artist for Mad Magazine in the chat right now. Hey, man. That fills my heart with joy. Okay, I appreciate you guys. I appreciate all the viewers, because we're at like, we were at 13 for a while there, topped out at 16. That makes me feel pretty damn good. I'm not going to lie. Heath Cluck. Richie Lute. Like, these are all so many, like, the Star comics. I was just looking at old Heathcliff issues at the comic book shop. And the great Tom Smith. I'm sorry, Tom Smith. Wait, Tom, hold on. Tom, did you work in... Have you had work published? Are you like just now revealing that you are also a creator? I thought you were just a collector like me. Jeez Louise. Sergeant Rock. I just sort of love these just because of... I love looking at old comics generally. And so... Yeah, I don't know. I'm just kind of running out of words to say. I'm going to take another sip of water. Doc Rhino. Still more Dick Tracy bad guys. Blockhead. I mean, I can't believe that this wasn't... It's kind of hard to make fun of characters that are always, like, already so over the top. Who wrote this? I hate that when they make me look for the attributions. Cracked uses for used computers. Do I got a computer like this? I make my child use it. Oh, you could use it as a planter. I swear to God, I've seen somebody doing that. And the aquarium thing. Like a CRT TV like the one I got here. I swear I've seen people do it. Oh no, isn't that Earth Girls Are Easy? It's like some... I think like Gina Davis had a TV that was an aquarium in some movie. Cracked to the Future. Who did this? Tony Frank, John Severin. John Severin is a masterful artist. I mean, what's interesting here is that, I mean, they aren't caricatures. They're just like accurate, visually accurate cartoons. Here's a fun fact. Back to the Future 2 and 3 were filmed consecutively and just released, a year apart. Grumpy Old Men? Gina Davis wasn't in Grumpy Old Men. Oh, dang. I like this. This reminds me of, not style-wise, but it reminds me of in Plop, and I have some of those. I have a video, I think my last live stream I went over Plop. It reminds me of the cover of Plop and how What's-His-Face would have these really cool illustrations of characters. I love this, though. This is a really neat illustration. And then here we go. The Human Torch, Johnny Flame. Tenactin puts out the fire of Athlete's Foot. Severin. God, Severin was like cashing checks from Cracked, like wild. Anyway, that is about it for, I think, this live stream. Been going for about 2 hours and 10 minutes. Wolverton. Yes, I do mean Wolverton. I could take a little bit of time to just kind of BS with the chat if you want. Maybe 10 more minutes. I'll sign off. What time is it now? Well, in 10 minutes. Yeah, I'll stick around maybe for 10 minutes. That weak back cover. Dang! Mort Todd bringing the heat. I'll tell you what, though. I like that illustration. The joke isn't that funny. But I love that illustration. Tell us what you think about Cracked for you. It's good. I mean, I don't know that I've read the best that they have to offer, if I'm being honest. These are just sort of like random ones. I'm gonna go through mine. I'm gonna read them some more, or maybe save a few. If you have suggestions for Cracked issues that I should check out, let me know. You can, I think after I end the stream, it just gets posted. So you could leave a comment on this live stream as a video thing, and I'll try to get my hands on them. They're a little harder to come by than Mad magazines are, but if there's like really high quality good ones that you would recommend, let me know and I'll pick some up. I got a teacher's salary, bro. I got money burning holes in my pockets. In Mad 15, they have a memorial to Mort Drucker. I heard that. It was, I don't know why I haven't checked that issue out yet. But I heard that there was like a really, really nice dedication to him. I think Tom Richmond did it. I think these Cracks were good. Kyle, yeah, I think they were good. There are certain things that I think that I have, like this artwork. This isn't a style that I like. I think it's just too loose. I think, this is the guy that's doing the spy and saboteur, right? I believe. It's like, for things like this, these sort of like simple drawings that are like very based on, what do you call it? Hold on. I kind of got distracted by a question Trucker asked. It seems like, that he's going for an Aragones only visual storytelling, but Aragones, his illustrations are so tight, and I'm making this comparison in my mind just automatically, and it's hard for me to get over that. So there are certain things about it that I think my bias makes it harder to appreciate. Riccigliano is a genius. Yeah, that's why I'm like I'm trying to be careful not to like totally dump on him. I just think I think that my own bias is getting in my way. Mort, I would like to talk to you about you poaching artists. But I want to become more schooled in Cracked magazine, because I don't want, if we sit down and talk, I don't want it to be about talking about the competition. You are the editor of a major publication, and I want to be respectful and honor your work. So, but yeah, it helps to read it when you're 7. Yeah, Kyle, I would say that's the other thing, is that I don't have that nostalgic agreement. Let's see. How do I like Meanwhile? It's kind of new for Mad. I don't know what you're talking about, Trucker. I don't know what meanwhile is. Yeah. Yeah. More. I certainly don't mean it in a well, it has a very negative comment. I think it's only negative, the term poaching. So I apologize. I didn't mean to offend you, because uh, I know that there's reasoning that, like, Don Martin left, that was really that I don't know the details of, but it was totally understandable why he left, and it has to do with that owning artwork. So yeah, I apologize for using the word poaching. I ran out of water. I am curious. I don't know that anybody answered it. Does the mic sound okay? Is it too loud or anything? I got the deets. I don't know what that means. I'm not hip. I don't know this young stuff. No. It doesn't sound okay? Well, geez, I would have messed around with it. Oh, the mic is fine. Okay. It was a hot mic for a while. Okay. Yeah, sorry about that. But that hat. God damn it, Mort! Mort, is this because I used the term poaching? I'm going to leave now. Mort has ruined my night. I thought I could hear a woman talking in the background. Well, I hope not. My wife is out of town, so that would be... You know what it could have been? It could have been my cat. Who knows? Yeah, Trucker, he is bullying. That's the right term for it. He is bullying. Jeez Louise. You know what? I think I do have to go. My throat is it's hurting a little bit at this point. I'm not used to talking this much straight through. But before I do, thank you everybody who is here. Let me see. Mr. Irvin, Damir Irvin, Inventor for Hire, Kyle Bridget, Mort Todd, Todd Smith, Tom Smith, Trucker Ford. Thank you guys for sticking around. I really appreciate it. I do want to start doing these maybe more than once a month, and I'll tell like, I mean, this viewership is like pretty awesome for me. So, yeah, thank you, and toodaloo. Wait, hold on. Ah, damn it, I wasn't ready. Or as Kyle Bridget suggested, stay mad.